Hi everyone, and welcome to OP Digital Blueprint. Again, apologies, it's not on a Tuesday, it is on a Thursday because I managed to get home in time. Yippee! So we have our very good friends Jeanne, Alleva, and of course Redfern with us today. Welcome, guys. And what
Hey
we
Andy,
want,
how you doing?
awesome.
Hi Jeanne.
Been, been been driving all over
Hi,
the country and seeing all this wonderful scenery. It's fantastic. Um, what we were going to do today was run through or give you a little bit more of what we picked up from Ash's last webinar. So I'm going to pass the floor across to Red to start today. And look, he's in my apartment. Look, I've got my apartment. Yeah, there you go, Red. Back to
Yeah, how
to
you
you.
doing? Yeah, fine. Thank you very much. Obviously, if you are one of the people that follow me on my lives, then you'll know over the last week, 10 days or so, we've been talking extensively all about the webinar and some of the points that we were there. I've been doing it all on my own, to be honest. So I like this topic now because I've got you two to chime in and we can talk about things and expand things. And this is really what I absolutely love about it. And just I can say a few things and we can pick up on it and talk a little bit more at length of it. One of the main topics I've been talking about, and the reason I've been talking about this topic, and today was a little bit the same as well on my live, is detaching ourselves from on passive so that we are ready mentally to move to the next phase. Now, I'm going to say my part, and then hopefully Andy and Jeanne will come in and we can discuss it a little bit more. Now, I think it's really important for us to understand that on passive, the business, the company that we know is still there. It's not going anywhere. It's still there. But look at it more as something that's not going to go anywhere. Okay. It's a business. It's still intact. It still has the name and the portal and all the rest of it there, but nothing is going to be regenerated from it. Okay. I think it's important for us to all of us to understand that our CEO was adamant that he wants to keep on passive there because he basically wants to be in a position where everything is sorted that was associated with on passive. What do I mean by that? Any legalities, any monies owing for wages or for third parties, any commissions owed to people that we see within our back office wallets, anything to do with on passive from a business point of view, a legal point of view, a monetary point of view, he wants to set it straight to zero. That is why it is all still there. That's why it's not been shut down. This is why it's not going to be going anywhere, because this is going to be very time consuming and something that moves on. This leads me very nicely on to why he's, over the 3 webinars that we've heard from him so far, he's mentioned this 3 times, and that is detaching ourselves from on passive so that we are moving forward into the next phase. He quoted, the only thing that is coming from on passive into the next phase is me and my name. No coding, no products, no services, nothing. Okay. This is why I've been talking over the last week, 10 days or so specifically about how we got to get ourselves mentally ready for this next phase. I still see so many people quoting things that our CEO had said in 2022 and 2023, and I was told it's going to be that and all the rest of it. Yes, that was on passive. That was how it was all going to be. But unfortunately, the way the wheel fell off that one through no fault of our own. We are moving forward to something completely better and different. It's brand new. Is there going to be products, digital products and services within it? Yeah, I expect so. Is it going to be a internet business that we know of? Yeah, probably it will be, but it's going to be brand new. And that's the thing I'm trying to get over to so many people. And hopefully we're on the same sheet here with what I'm trying to say is that when I'm told by our CEO that what we're moving to is better than what we had before, I'm all in. Yes, I have got emotions tied up in on passive. Yes, I've got finances tied up in on passive, but that's okay for me because I know and I believe that our CEO is good for his word and he will do everything within his power to set things right. But I'm not dwelling on that. I'm looking forward to what I can do myself for this next phase. I want to get my teeth into something that I can really get hold of and utilize for the benefit of my financial future and also my online business. I'll leave it at that for now.
Thanks, Fred. Great start. And Jeanne, I'm sure you've got some points that you want to cover as well, based on what Red said and also what our CEO said the other day. So over to you, my
Sure. Well,
friend.
thank you, Andy. Thank you, Red. Boy, when you were talking, I got this visual, like I do, of thinking of on passive as like a classic car that's been parked. It needs to be parked. It had problems with the engine, it had problems with everything. So many problems that it's not drivable. It's parked. And in another shop, in a fabrication shop, you could say, a concept car is being built, a futuristic concept car that never has been seen before, is way better than anything that classic car could have taken us to, right? So I think, like Red said, it's still there, and at some point down the line, some value might come from it. Maybe it's sold for parts. You know what I mean? The hood ornament gets a few bucks on. No, it's an analogy, people. So I think in my mind, that's a kind of a good way of thinking of it, right? We have something new that's being built that is so extraordinary, never been seen before, a whole new concept. And I love the idea of concept cars because they represent to me that out of the box thinking, that something that is so cutting edge, so futuristic, so different than anything that's come before. And that is Ash. That is the way his mind thinks. He's always looking to do that. So if we can sit in the confidence that is being developed, we'll be in great shape. And I did want to say, when we were talking about, what Ash was saying about preparing us, detaching from the old and preparing ourselves for the new that's coming, preparing to move to something you've never seen and we haven't talked about. So you really have to, we talked about a lot of really amazing, cool things. So it just expands the mind thinking of, boy, we haven't even talked about it yet. And it's something new. So this is where we are. We're sitting in this space, this blessing of time to expand our minds, prepare ourselves in whatever way we can, just however, making sure we're paying our own bills, taking care of our families, whatever. So we're prepared to hit the ground running. We're not under stress. Our minds are open. We're still keeping those dreams big so that we can be ready. Actually, Narelle Warkon said something really great on her Wednesday show that was something like, don't ask when it's going to happen. Say, I'll be ready when it does. And it was such a great just shift of focus. I think, Narelle, I hope I got that right. I just think that's a really, really exciting state of mind to be in, sort of like that genius state of mind, just open and ready, ready for any kind of ideas that might come, ready for those next actions we may or may not have to take. We don't know. So we just stay in that state of readiness, and we trust our CEO. And the last thing I'll say about this is a quote from my 9 pages of notes from our last meeting, which was from Ash. Quote, "I promise you, you have a good brother and good friend for life. I'll never disappoint you." That's Ash Mufara. And anything that he develops is going to be good. And so that's what I wanted to say on that, Andy. Thanks.
Thanks, Jeanne. I wanted to come at this from a slightly different angle. What do I mean by that? Well, when I was learning the industry that I was thrown into, you could say, we were always told, be careful who you listen to. Choose people that know what they're talking about. Choose the successful people. Choose the successful people. Follow them because they've done it. They know what to do and how to do it. You know, what's the point in following somebody who's never done it before? If they've never done it before, they're not likely to do it again. Hold on, that doesn't make sense. So my point being that Ash, we know, is a marketing genius. Ash, we know, has created before what we used to call OConnect, our video conferencing platform at that point. But what I took out of the recent webinar was, it's not likely to be called OConnect next time. It's likely to be called something else. The difference is it's more likely going to be 3 times better than the one we had before. Now, you may look at that and go, hold on a second, how the hell can you make it better? But there are various different things that could be added on. And I took out of webinars a couple of years ago when Ash explained that he had 2 teams working on the same product at the same time, with a view to, okay, this guy's come up with this idea, this guy's come up with this, perhaps if we amalgamate the 2 at some point. But we were going with one and we were going to look at the other at a certain point. So 2 points, as I said, be careful who you listen to. Now, for me personally, I know this man's done it before. We've seen the proof. He has a heart for humanity. He's not given up. He will continue until it's done. And he's taking us along for the ride. So I'd far rather listen to him than anyone else. So I'm in 100%. Whatever it's called, I really don't care. Because at the end of the day, we know Ash is behind it. So that's good enough for me. So, you know, you want to be successful, follow successful people. In my mind, Ash is probably one of the most successful people I've ever met. But he's certainly the only person I know that has created and is willing to give back. The vast majority of CEOs and presidents and vice presidents and managing directors I've come across over the years, most of them are only interested in that. They have no interest in giving back. And a good example is actually the CEO of Amazon. I have had and know of people that work in the Amazon warehouses. They get paid minimum wage. Why? Because Jeff Bezos is only interested in that, nothing else. Anyway, Ed, I'm sure you have some further points that you'd like to add. So over to you.
Yeah, no problem. Ironically, he probably needs to have people on minimum wage after what he paid his ex-wife on their divorce settlement, to be honest. It's probably had something a lot to do with it.
Quite probably.
Catapulted her into I think the richest woman in the world. I think it did, didn't it? 175 billion or something it was.
What a shame.
What a shame. Yeah, you talk about Ash wanting to give back, and I picked up on what he was saying. He didn't mention too much, did he, about what was going to be things happening, etc. But what he did say was it's going to be better than what it was before. He hinted that the commissionable side of the new business will be even better than what we already know on passive commissions were going to be. Obviously, legalities, etc., and restrain him from probably doing what he wants to do. But again, isn't that a massive positive for the next phase? If we are going to be generating commissions from sales of products and services in the new phase, that the commissionable side of things are going to be even better than it was under old ONPASSIVE. I mean, isn't that something just to get excited for about that? We do really need to look forward rather than looking back, and this is all part of, in my opinion, the strategy that Ash has been laying out before us over the last couple of months. It's that preparing the ground, it's the refertilizing and getting ready for seeding, and however you want to, and whatever analogy you want to use as far as it's concerned, it really all points in one direction, and that is preparing us for the next phase. He decided that he wanted to come to us on a more regular basis when he started mid-February, when he popped on to Chris's and Marty's, and ever since then he said, this is what I'm going to do. Obviously, with Marty being in hospital at the moment, this is slowed things considerably at the moment, because he rightly so wants Marty to be an integral part of what is happening at the moment. And it goes to show really how much behind the scenes organization Marty does with webinars, etc. That without him bringing all channels together and all sorts of other things that you don't know about behind the scenes, he is that kingpin that makes it happen. Ash is a master strategic and marketeer. When I first started, when I looked it up, this is one of the massive pluses that you found about him on Google when you did your search for him. If you really analyze what has gone before, we never even got into that marketing part of ONPASSIVE. Yes, we saw Burj Khalifa getting lit up. Yes, we saw the advertising on the billboards all throughout Dubai, etc. Yes, we saw big banners on stations, on buses, all the rest of it. We saw all of those, but that's not really his lane. That's not really what he's good at. And he made reference to this on when I asked him the question, if you remember, in the Q&A part afterwards. He actually said that over the last 3-4 years, what was the way to go as far as marketing, that's been and gone. I mean, we three here and many of you guys out there right now, if you've done any marketing in the past, you will know and understand that we are so much further down the line. And if you are trying to implement marketing like it did before, it's just not going to work now. To give an example, email marketing, funnels, pay-per-clicks, all these sort of things. If you went out into the marketplace trying to do that now, you're dead in the water. Remember putting adverts in newspapers, in magazines, all these sort of things, right? If you try to do that now, you just might as well just go and burn your money in a bin, because it's not going to produce any leads whatsoever. So where do we go from here? And Ash did a very good explanation of how AI is going to integrate into what he's doing. And he says that what he has been looking at, designing, using, getting ready for us, nobody's doing it yet. Now, one of the things he did say is that it doesn't matter what you do online. If you have a online presence, everybody wants marketing. Everybody wants these things on what you are either saying, doing, or producing. Nobody's going to say, I don't want any more people watching me. I don't want any more sales. I don't want any more people looking at this. I don't want any more clicks. Nobody's ever going to say that. Everybody wants more, from a president all the way down to your granny who's baking a cake. Okay. Everybody wants more people to view what they are doing. And if you have got a brand new system, marketing system, that hasn't been utilized before, that is brand new, it's AI, it specifically targets all of these terminologies, then that is more gold than any product that you are going to ever produce. Why? Because people are going to buy that system, because then that means that they are going to be able to market what they want to do to get eyes in front of it. And if we are part of this next phase where that is going to be put into what we've got, and we can buy that to either resell or to use, just imagine what that's going to do, guys. I mean, start thinking about that a little bit. It's just that alone, without a product, right? Without a new OConnect video conferencing, whatever it may be, without any other services, without any other physical products, without anything else, that little bit alone is going to absolutely blow things apart. Back to you.
So that's going to integrate quite well then.
I'm glad you can say it better than I can.
We all trip over words. It happens to
Absolutely.
everyone.
You got tongue-tied. Jeanne, I'm sure you've got some points you'd like to add as
Well, yeah, I was thinking about, I don't remember exactly how Ash said it. I think he was alluding to the fact that, with AI, the development is so fast, and marketing, everything's changing. And if you have, like, just say 100 people exploring AI, they can all pick their AI lane and go for it. And it's not like there's only one way to do AI and one little road, and, oh, we're going to be behind because we haven't started yet, and everybody's going to be ahead of us and all that stuff. No, there's like just a zillion unlimited things that you can do with AI. So I wanted to ease people's minds with that, because it's sort of like, writing a song. There are 8 notes, 8 notes, and all of the songs, past, present, and future, are written with those same 8. So the possibilities are unlimited. And when you have, so I just want to say for people not to worry about us getting behind, or there being, other companies doing their AI work and all that stuff. No. We have a genius musician, as it were, an AI musician that is, using the potentials, but creating something vastly new and unlimited, and always is going to be doing that, ever innovating, never stopping. We never need to worry. And for those people out there that are, just haven't had the faith, or have not been, had this sort of like rock solid, we are like in this, we know the potentials, we're excited about it, we love the change, we're here for the duration. But for those people that, are maybe, say, thinning, their faith is thinning, I have one of my absolute favorite quotes. I'm all about the quotes today, which is from Harriet Beecher Stowe, who's an American author who was very vocal against slavery and things like that. So she was a pretty amazing woman back in the 1800s. And the basic quote is, "Never give up, for that's just the place and time where the tide will turn. The whole quote is, when you get into a tight place, and maybe people are feeling tight financially, maybe they're feeling like, oh man, I need this to go, go, go. When you get into a tight place and everything goes against you till it seems as if you couldn't hold on a minute longer, never give up then. For that's just the place and time where the tide will turn. And that's where we are. We are here at this point. Please, people, don't give up. Stay, because we are literally about to turn this world on its ear, and it's going to be amazing. So that's all I want to say, Andy. Thank you. Thank you, Red.
Thanks, Jeanne. Thanks. It's good. I mean, you know, there's lots of things we don't know, and what Ash was explaining the other day was, look, we're going to get to probably stage 10 before we tell you what stage 1 is. And I'm sitting there going, oh my god, I really want to know what's going on. But this is good. This is great. And who knows what direction it could go. And I love this, Greg. You mentioned about hydrogen vehicles. Yes, I'm with you. I'd love to build one. It was done in 1997 by a guy called Stan Mayer, but we won't go there today. Let's hope Ash considers things like this, because, you know, the world would be a better place if we had various technologies being brought out. And Jeanne, you're right about this AI. It doesn't matter which branch you're in. If you're ahead of the curve, you're ahead of the curve. What I always took out of what Ash said last time was that, you know, we're 3 years ahead of the curve. That means they've got 3 years to catch up. And no matter how quickly they try and catch up, we're always going to be 3 years ahead. So, you know, he's found his lane, if you like, and at the end of the day, he's going to take advantage of it. Who knows what comes of it? But as I said, the most important thing for me is to make sure that I follow the right person and not the wrong person. And for me, that's Ash Mufara. Any final comments, Red, that you'd like to add?
Just one final comment, actually, and I'm just going to pick up on what you were saying about we're not going to be behind and all the rest of it. Isn't it funny that I'm just going to sort of reminisce, okay, about things, is that obviously when we had OConnect, which is 2 years or more ago now, and Ash was talking to us about what we're going to be doing with OConnect, and even before we got it, he was telling us all about it and what was going to be part of it and all the different bits and pieces and that was there. And obviously the wheel fell off and everything went Pete Tong. That's an English saying, by the way, Jeanne, if you didn't know what it was. And where I lost my train of thought, that's right. And but what he was telling us about OConnect was what was going to be integrated in it and how it all was going to work. Now, when we paused, isn't it amazing that all of the other people, the other platforms, etc., have all got what he said we were going to have? Now, this comes back to what Andy's just said, is that we are always going to be ahead of the curve. He was talking about these things way before anybody had even thought about them. We were having them integrated into our things, but things happened that we couldn't get around. And then because we had to pause, lo and behold, 6 months and a year down the line, our competitors have integrated them into what they are using right now. Why? Coincidence? Don't think so. I think it's maybe people, spies in the camp, people know about us, and they thought that's a really good idea. Don't you think having this mastermind in our midst that we call Ash Mufara is going to keep us ahead of the next curve in whatever we are doing? Don't you think that whatever he's thinking about right now is way down the line of what anybody else is already thinking? This is exciting. If that is the status quo moving forward, and we've got the proof of what he was saying has been implemented into other businesses, products and services, then he was certainly on the right path, wasn't he? He was talking about exactly the right things, because we see it in other platforms, including the one we're on right now. You know, this to me is more clarification, more proof that the person who is leading us is the right person to follow. Back to you, Andy.
Thanks, Fred. Thanks. I think for me, and you're quite right, Red. I think for me, we started on this journey. We all started together. We had this one excitement, and I love the analogy that Collins used about one of the other platforms, saying that the foundations were built on a 2-story house, and they're trying to build a skyscraper from it, and sooner or later, all these little bits and pieces that they add on mean it will collapse. You can't start an AI system partway through a build. It's got to start at the bottom and have it all integrated from day one. And that's where this other platform perhaps has got issues, because it's got to start again. They've made a fortune over the years, and it's now someone else's turn, if you like. But bottom line is, for me, I'm not bothered what it looks like. I'm not bothered how it works. The only thing that I'm interested in right now is making sure that I'm part of the group that get there. And I know that the group will get there with Ashwin Farah as our CEO. Any final comment that you'd like to make, Jeanne?
Just that imitation is the greatest form of flattery, and all these other companies picking up on our bells and whistles, as it were, is only helping the customers of those companies. And we are like a rising tide lifts all boats. We're not trying to just have our own business be successful. We're trying to help all businesses be successful. And if that is one little side way that we are helping other businesses, I know this is a little out there, but Ash really does want to lift humanity. And that includes all these other businesses. So if these other, if they're copying us and giving better value to their customers in a strange sort of way, we are doing what we're setting out to do, which is change this world and improve it. So that's all I wanted to add, Andy. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you guys for joining me, and thank you everyone for joining us. Again, I will try and make Tuesday. If I can't make Tuesday, we'll try Thursday. So please bear with us, and just look out on the platform, on the YouTube channel. There'll be details about it there. And as I said before, please share it with others. And don't forget Heroes webinar on Sunday, and of course Red's regulars. So thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us. See you soon.